This is the 8th LeetCode challenge in Go, and it is called string to integer. Implement the atoy string s function, which converts a string to a 32-bit signed integer. The algorithm for myatoy is as follows. 1. Whitespace. Ignore any leading whitespace. 2. Signedness. Determine the sign by checking if the next character is a minus or plus, assuming positivity if neither present. 3. Conversion. Read the integer by skipping leading zeros until a non-digit character is encountered, or the end of the string is reached. If no digits are read, then the result is 0. Rounding. If the integer is out of the 32-bit signed integer range, then round the integer to remain in the range. Specifically, integers less than negative 2 to the power 31 should be rounded to negative 231, and integers greater than 2 to the power 31 minus 1 should be rounded to 2 to the power 31 minus 1. Return the integer as a final result. So input string 42, output's 42. That one makes sense. You've got negative white space negative 042. That would be negative 42. So skip the white space, see the negative sign, skip the 0, then 42. If we have this string, go 1, 2, 1, 3, 3, 7. This is a string character, so it would then just output that. 0 dash 1, it would first do the positive minus check, so nothing there is 0. It would then go to this one, which is a non-number character, and it would then just return 0. And this one starts with a letter, so returns 0. Okay, interesting. Let's get started. So we've got the string. We need to iterate over all the characters from the beginning. If it starts with a space, skip. So let's start with... so we're going to be doing multiple checks. It's not going to be one continuous for loop. We'll start off with, okay, this is the whitespace check, this is the sign check, and so on. So we'll start off with index equals 0, and we'll do is positive. I'll start this off as true, and the result will initially be 0. So we'll just return result. So we now want to do so we're iterating over the string and skipping blank space characters. Actually, let me just so you can clearly see, let's just put these instructions here as a comment. Okay, so we've got that. So first one, the white space. So we could iterate over the string, and if string is white space, then increment index. Okay, we also create a length variable, so I don't want to be having to do len s every single time. So for index is less than length, and s index equals blank string, and then just do index plus plus. So that covers white space. So now we need to do this. So once again, if index less than length and s index. Okay, my original one, I was thinking we only do is positive true. I was thinking we only check to see if it's negative, but if it's positive, we also need to increment the index as well. So s index equals plus, or s index equals negative. Then we go below, if it's negative, is positive equals false, otherwise index plus plus. Oh, my bad, I need to make these single quotes. Okay, so we've done this signedness part. So this is interesting part. So for index less than length, and we also need to make sure that the current character we are looking at is a digit character. So we first start off with grabbing the character. So out of curiosity, what data type is it? Oh, I thought I could just see like that. Apparently not. Okay, so basically we need to get this string, convert it, so back to an int. Well, we first need to check to see if the string character is a digit, and then convert it. So we need to use, up here we'll go import Unicode. So for index length string, unicode.is digit. Okay, and that takes in a rune. So I assume we can do that, and s index. So if it's a decimal character, that is what we are wanting. We then can do num equals int s index. So we've now got the number. And okay, so I haven't actually thought about building the number itself, but I suppose just like one of the previous ones, you have the result, you times it by 10, and then you just add the digit on. So let's say start off with 1, and you're adding a 2 to it, times it by 10 to make it 10, then you add 2, so it's 12. So result equals result times 10 plus num, and we'd also need to do index plus plus. That's right, we need to also check to see if it's out of the 32-bit integer range. So it'll be a very similar thing again. Okay, need to import math, and we need to do if result. Okay, what would this be? Okay, so we're currently dealing with purely a positive number, which we're then switching to negative later. So this number would become unsafe if, when we do the times by 10, it's... when would this become unsafe? Yeah, if we do the 10 times by 10, it's then greater than the max integer, because we're doing that and then we'd be adding this number to it. So it'd be safe times by 10. If it's less than max, then it would, I think, would be fine. So we'll do result greater than math.max int 32 divided by 10. And with this, if it is greater, we then just return the max. So if is positive, return math.max 32. Otherwise, return math.min int 32. So we do that, then we get to here. What we then need to do is if not is positive, result times equals -1, and then return that. Okay, so I think that's all that needs to be done. So let's run it and see. Okay, that is definitely not what should have happened. Okay, where did we go wrong? Let's print out num and see what it's doing. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I had to look it up. So it's getting the ASCII number of the character. So when we're turning it to an integer, that's why it's doing 52 and 50. So the way you get the actual integer number is by minusing it by 0. So 0 has the ASCII value of 48. So in other words, you're doing 52 minus 48, which would be 4, and 50 minus 48, which is 2. So then that would output the right number. So let's run that again, and then now we're getting the correct number. So let's copy and paste this, and we'll get rid of that comment. Let's copy and paste this into LeetCode, and let's see if it will work on the test cases, and it has. So now let's submit it, and hopefully it works correctly. Okay, we got a wrong number. Okay, interesting. So it's not working correctly on this part's not working correctly. Okay, I guess that does make sense, because we've got that number. If we times by 10, it's not going to be greater than. Okay, so for this part, I forgot to do the minus num from it, because we need to do the full thing in reverse. So we need to completely do the opposite of it. So you can probably just copy and paste this one little bit back into here. Run on the test cases just in case. And now submit again. Okay, there we go, now it's working. Yep, so that is the 8th LeetCode challenge, string to integer, done and go. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe.